Even some of the houses that were up for sale, in order to view the house, they needed to see that pre-approval letter.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they didn't want anybody
Not even
just
let you in the house.
No, no window shopping here. You got serious buyers only. So
yes. Oh, Las Vegas, calm down in your crazy market, I hope, sometime. What is the perfect bite? That mix of flavors, textures, colors, and aromas that come together in one amazing amuse-bouche. Big ideas expressed in small bites. That's our podcast, a variety of inspiring topics to make your financial goals and dreams a reality.
Brought to you by Clark County Credit Union for your weekly serving of food reviews, financial education, and life hacks that your future self will appreciate. It's the perfect bite of interesting information to start your week. Welcome to episode 25 of The Perfect Bite. I'm your host, Crystal Price.
And I'm your other host, Shannon Hiller. We have a very special episode today with two guests visiting us, so let's dig in.
We love trying new dishes here at The Perfect Bite, and John Mull's Meats and Roadkill Grill sounds a bit intimidating or a little out of the ordinary, but it's a local hot spot for a reason. Next, we'll talk with our special guests about what you can do to prepare for a new home purchase, and finally, we'll share some tips on how to pick the best mortgage officer in a competitive housing market.
Each week on The Perfect Bite, we'll visit a locally owned Southern Nevada restaurant that we just really enjoy and hope will become your new favorite too. This week we're sharing a personal favorite, John Mull's Meats and Roadkill Grill. So this is really a butcher shop with the Roadkill Grill attached to it. And there's an outdoor seating with wooden picnic benches covered by a tent. It's no frills, order at the counter. I wouldn't go so far as to say like Seinfeld soup Nazi, but like I tried to change my order and she said, I'll have to redo the whole thing, refund you, and do the whole bill again. And I said, nope, no. Keep the same order. Yeah, so just be ready for what you want to order. It gets really busy. It was so good. It was worth any soup Nazi vibe I got to get the food. So this was actually a meat market established in 1954. And it's been featured on, I was like impressed with that. It's been on diners, drive-ins, and dives on the Food Network, but it's totally in this little residential area. So if you feel like you're in the wrong spot, you're actually going the right way. So you pull into a little neighborhood, there's a dirt lot, wooden beam over the entryway that marks where you are.
And there will be tons of cars. So
yeah,
you'll know
look
you're
for all
in the right
cars.
spot. Yeah.
Yes. I ordered the 3-meat plate to share, and we get 2 sides as well. So I got the burnt ends, brisket, and sliced hot links. And then for the sides, I got yams and macaroni and cheese, and then also came with cornbread. And then I don't know what I was thinking. I never ordered chili, but I was like, chili sounds kind of good. And it was like actually a breezy day when I went. And so we got chili as well, which can be a side. And so I loved that chili. Like I could have eaten only that. I think they just take like
sounds really good.
All the brisket and smoked meat that they do and put it into this chili with also pepper. So I don't know. Sometimes chili is kind of sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit of, this wasn't. It was very savory, spicy, but not too spicy. The cornbread was like perfect. It almost looks like a little muffin top, like a disc of cornbread, not like a slice. Okay. Yeah. I was like, where's the cornbread? And there's little circles wrapped in foil.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I would get that in a heartbeat again. It was so good. The brisket was really good too, sliced super thin with a really good sauce, but I really liked the barbecue burnt ends. I hadn't ordered those before. Have you had those?
No.
It's like the end pieces of like the brisket, I guess. And my husband was telling me he loves smoking meat. And so he's like, yeah, these used to just get thrown away. Oh. But they take them off, wrap them in foil. They're so good. And I was like, these look like not fatty. I expected them to be fatty. They weren't. Let's just go like right now. It's so, I'm seriously like craving it. It's so good. And they're also just so generous with the portions. Like she was loading up our thing and I picked up my bag and I was like, oh my gosh, like my arm like dropped down. It was so heavy. Yeah. So definitely that was more than enough. Like we shared it and we have more to take home. So plenty of food to get the three meats. So also for catering, I want to point out, we've done this before at the office. The eating area is a bit limited, and especially with the covered patio, like certain times of year here in Vegas, it's not going to be super enjoyable to be outside during the day for lunch. So catering might be your best option for any kind of get-togethers you're doing. So I know you've been there before. I'm just blabbing on and on
have.
about how good it was, but
I didn't realize so the first time I went, it was a recommendation for the meats, just like the meat
the
market
butcher
part.
shop.
Yeah,
Yes.
the butcher shop. So I knew I was going there for hot dogs and for ribs. That's what I went there for. And then when I got there, I saw all the cars in the parking lot, and people were in this very long line.
Yeah, wraps around the side of the building.
Just for the food, like for the sit down plate option, which I didn't, like I said, I didn't even know that was like a thing. So I was like, oh, I have to go back, and I haven't been yet, but you are definitely enticing me.
It was so good. Even like the macaroni and cheese had like some of their dry rub maybe on it. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what is this? Is it just kind of like, charred on the edges? And I was like, no. This is like, chef's kiss. Delicious. It was so good. So
I'll be going there soon.
Yeah, seriously, we need to create a team lunch. So anyway, if you guys have a recommendation for a restaurant, hopefully as delicious as Roadkill Grill, please send us a recommendation at theperfectbite@ccculb.com. We love hearing your suggestions.
We are happy to have two of CCCU's mortgage loan officers on the podcast with us today. They'll be sharing best practices for preparing for a home purchase. Welcome, Kai and Liz.
Hi. Hey,
Thanks for
having us.
Of course. We're happy to have you guys come on and talk about this topic that's definitely on a lot of people's minds right now. I know buying a home is one of the biggest purchases that anybody will ever do in their life. I can't really think of any other process that I've gone through that was more involved than a home purchase. So with things being so competitive, I can see how being prepared will provide people with an advantage. Kai, so before people start going shopping for houses, what are some tips for preparing for starting the home buying process?
I'd say first-time buyer courses. Those are really important. They talk about, debt to income ratio, just the process overall, closing costs, what to expect. I'd say it's definitely important to save. Not only for your down payments and the closing costs, but you have to keep in mind you will also have, the costs that come along with getting into the home, furnishing it and things of that nature.
Right.
That also, and you don't want to have to, max out and have credit card payments on top of that new mortgage payment. So if you can save, then that's one less thing you have to worry about.
And that probably will help with their credit score too by having less credit card debt.
Exactly, because that utilization won't be out of this world.
Exactly. I know you mentioned like the move-in expenses, and I know I didn't experience this with my first house, but when I first got my first apartment, I did not save for moving expenses. And I remember moving in and I literally just had a bed and a TV, and that was it, because I was just like, I just want to move out the house. So when I got a house, I was like, I got to save for all of the furnishings, kitchen stuff, living room,
Correct.
bathroom, everything. So I think, people need to definitely save for that. That's a great one. So from that experience, I knew that I needed to go into a home purchase with a better plan, and I incorporated moving expenses. Speaking of a budget, Liz, can you share any tips or tricks that you might have that would help somebody determine how much money that they can actually afford?
Absolutely. So we assist our members to ensure that they are not getting into an unfavorable financial situation. Being aware of your debt to income ratio, the utilization of credit cards and balances is important, like you guys mentioned. So large payments like student loans, car payments, personal loans can impact the amount an individual may qualify for.
Okay.
But Clark County Credit Union actually offers various calculators on our website that can assist with either debt management, estimating a mortgage payment, or even help calculate how much to save.
Nice. Yeah, I know we've mentioned the calculators a couple of times in any kind of variety. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, you can go in there, plug in your information, and you get a better idea of how much you should be saving for those different scenarios. So thank you for sharing that. So, I have my savings. I know how much I can afford. Is there anything else that I should be prepared for when starting the home buying process?
I would say getting your credit report.
Okay.
There's so many different avenues you can take with, whether you go on directly to Experian or Credit Karmas or your credit card, that'll give you your credit report. That way you can kind of know what's on there, so there aren't any surprises when you do get in the buying phase or qualifying phase. So keeping your credit utilization down, not opening any new accounts throughout the process is also something that I would say.
So don't go to Ashley Furniture and start buying my furniture with the card from them.
You can save it, but don't check out.
Okay. Don't check out. So these are really great best practices for preparing for the home buying. Once someone has all their items together, the credit's good, the savings good, they know how much they can afford, what would be their next step, Liz? Can you then start shopping?
So what we would recommend is hold off on the shopping and next go to finding the best mortgage product for you and getting pre-qualified. So that's definitely very important. Clark County Credit Union actually offers various loan programs because each borrower's situation and needs are different. We have conventional, FHA, VA, land, and construction loans. And as well as this month, we just rolled out a 2% down payment program.
Oh.
So that's awesome. And so,
what's the normal percentage down?
So normal percentage on a conventional is 3%. On FHA is 3.5.
Okay. So when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, that 1% can make a big difference.
Absolutely. So like I mentioned, this is a program that we just rolled out last month. It is going to be like a portfolio loan. So it is a loan that stays within the credit union.
Okay. That's good to know. So thank you both for all of the valuable information and for joining us today on The Perfect Bite. Before you guys leave today, though, we do ask our guests two things. The first, what is your favorite restaurant? And next, what is your perfect bite? Kai, do you want to go first?
So I'd have to say taco y taco.
Taco eat taco?
Taco y taco.
Like E, yes, and. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's on Eastern and Serene, so it's not far from my house, and I love it.
Okay. I love tacos.
Taco, yeah.
It is Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
It is
right.
Taco
Do
Tuesday.
they have Taco Tuesday deals?
They do.
Okay.
They do.
Okay. What is your favorite dish on the menu?
Carne asada tacos.
Okay.
Yep.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
How about you, Liz?
Personally, I love Thai food.
Okay.
So I would say we're a Thai. So they have various locations, but they're pretty good. And my favorite from them is their ginger chicken.
I love chicken too. So
yeah.
I will try those both places. Thank you guys so much. And we hope to see you again on The Perfect Bite.
Yeah, thank you for having us again. We appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate it.
And now for a short break to hear from our sponsor.
CCCU has a bonus for you. High five! It's 5% interest on a bonus checking account, only available at Clark County Credit Union. That's 5% on your money, and it's just one more benefit of membership at Clark County Credit Union. Isn't it time for you to join? Anyone can be a member, because if somebody's making money off your checking account, shouldn't it be you? Open a bonus checking account today and start earning your 5%, only at CCCU. Funds privately insured by American Share Insurance.
Next up is our Future Self segment, inspired by the Happiness Project. We want to share how getting a good mortgage loan officer will also help you secure the home of your dreams. One of the credit union's other mortgage loan officers recently was interviewed on Channel 13's Morning Blend, and we're going to share his advice for shopping in this competitive real estate market, how a good loan officer can help you navigate this dynamic local mortgage race, and we'll talk about some tips for what not to do once you start the mortgage application process. So, Crystal, I'm going to lean on you because you have been purchasing a home pretty recently. Like, how long have you been in your house? A year ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you choose your mortgage officer, sometimes I think like choosing the real estate agent is, who am I going to choose for my agent? But really the mortgage officer, I think, is equally as important.
It can be huge. I honestly, I lucked out in this. During my first home purchase, we were connected with a great mortgage or a realtor, Mickey. Shout out to Mickey. And he works for a company called Monopoly Realty. So he's the realtor. His mother is the broker, and his father is the loan officer. And they all work under one umbrella. And we love them. They've been to our wedding. We've been to their wedding when Mickey got married. And so we've used him for each house every time. And what I like about Mickey,
so that's the only reason you didn't use Clark County Credit Union, right?
That is the only reason. Because they just make the process so easy. Go way back. Paperwork, documents.
Well, yeah, I mean, the speed at which you complete your mortgage really can affect the outcome of the home purchase. So you want someone
things are crazy right now. Yeah,
exactly.
You need to have somebody on top of things and on top of you to get things completed on time.
Right. dotting all those I's, crossing the T's, everything.
Yes.
So when you're considering choosing a mortgage officer, definitely look at what solutions they're going to bring to the table and what experience they have. And there's multiple types of mortgages. And so you should ask that loan officer what programs they can offer you, what they're, been certified or trained to offer you. And then also any unique down payment assistance programs or, options for veterans or first-time home buyers.
Right.
I think that interviewing that mortgage officer and saying, hey, what do you have in terms of assistance for me or, special programs.
Or even having them really interview you, like how invested are they and making sure that they find the right product for you as well.
Right. Like, what can you have? Are you a veteran? Asking those questions for sure. Also ask how quickly their loans typically close and what closing costs are involved. Again, like we said before, the time for closing when it's competitive can really make or break the sale. Another great way to find a good mortgage officer is to get a reference or referral from a friend or a trusted source. Definitely reach out to your network, ask people who they've used. I think that's really the best way to find out, hey, was this person, good? Did they follow through? Were they proactive? Like you said, staying on top of you and meeting those deadlines. And so I know for simple things, I'll reach out to ask friends. So yeah. Definitely for something that you're spending probably the largest purchase of your life on, you should ask.
What was your experience?
Yeah.
Things like that. Exactly.
Checking reviews as well, I would say, is a good way to go. A good loan officer can also give you a competitive advantage by ensuring that your pre-approval is in place. And so when you have that pre-approval, your documentation is timely, you can close the deal quicker. That's also a competitive advantage. So I think that asking them about the pre-approval process, did you do that when you were looking?
We did. And one thing that I noticed when we were shopping was that even some of the houses that were up for sale, in order to view the house, they needed to see that pre-approval letter.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they didn't want anybody
Not even
just
you in the house.
No window shopping here. You got serious buyers only. So
yes. Oh, Las Vegas, calm down in your crazy market. I hope sometime. So one thing that Ryan in his interview with Channel 13 mentioned that I wanted to bring up here was things that you should not do. And that is to avoid doing anything that would change your credit between now and closing. So you start that process with your mortgage officer. They've pulled your credit. Everything looks good. Please do not go buy a new car.
Right.
Do not go open another credit card. No new purchases. Just nothing.
We kind of talked about that in the interview. People preparing for getting their house, and thinking, oh well, I need new furniture. Let me go get
right.
Go shopping. Like no, you need to wait until after the home is closed because that will adjust your credit score.
Yeah. Sit tight. Just let it happen. The deal can be delicate, so it's very important to find the right loan officer and also listen to your loan officer when they tell you those do nots during the process. You can make sure that you have the best deal and it goes smooth. So check out that interview. We'll link the Channel 13 interview in our show notes.
We want to hear from you. Send us your financial questions or money topics that you'd like to learn more about, and don't forget any fun local food recommendations. Our email is theperfectbite@ccculv.com.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode brought to you by Clark County Credit Union. For additional money management tips and financial calculators, check out our website at ccculv.org. Now that was The Perfect Bite.